Hey, it's your friend Choice CJ here, and this is our Week 4 battle for the PMC D League. Our opponent this week is Kyle, coach of the Mesquite Mesprits. I'll be dropping a link down to his YouTube channel and his Twitter down in the description. Really cool guy, really chill. He's got a really cool play style. He is unadulterated, unapologetic, hyper offense from start to finish. And as you can see, that's basically what he's brought in this game. He's brought Electrode, Masquerain, Honchkrow, Mega Metagross, Togekiss, and Exploud. As you can also see, we've brought Sableye, Emboar, Sneasel, Musharna, Skarmory, and Jirachi. If you haven't, go ahead and check out my team builder video. That is the most recent video that I uploaded prior to this one. And it goes over the team. Basically, I have a Banded Sneasel plus 5 stall Pokemon. And this match is pretty awesome. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. So without further ado, let's hop on into this battle. So he doesn't have anything that's really going to deter me from leading off with my Sableye, or so I think. He makes a really good read and starts out with John Goodman. And obviously, Exploud does get the Scrappy ability, so I don't really want to stay in here and take a big hit. So I immediately swap out into my Jirachi, which is specially defensive, and he makes a really nice prediction turn 1 and goes for the Fire Blast. So I'm already on the back foot, and this is kind of going to be a theme of the entire game. He makes a lot of really great reads and is able to get a lot of damage off on most of my threats. So just going to go ahead and scout out and see what he wants to do. He does just go for Fire Blast. So this does definitely suggest to me that he's choice specs, especially with that damage that he did. Luckily, we are very invested. But I know that we're not going to be able to take another Fire Blast, so I do take this as an opportunity to switch out into my Emboar. This is also specially defensive with an Assault Vest, so we can definitely take the Fire Blast. And if he is choiced, that's going to be a really nice play for us. But he makes a good double into his Electrode here. I didn't know at the time, but it's going to turn out that this is a choice specs modest Electrode. He goes for Thunder, and as you can see, Andre is just so bulky with that Assault Vest. Takes like 33%. The thing that does stink is that he does get the para off, but we are able to counteract with a Flare Blitz and take out the Electrode. Easy peasy. So even though we've been a little bit on the back foot, we are up 6-5 at the moment. Now he goes on into his Masquerain. I'm thinking, crap. He can get up his Sticky Webs. I don't have a Mega Evolved Sableye that I can use to deter him, but he switches out. And I talked to him after the battle, and he didn't quite realize, if he forgot that Sableye didn't end up going for the Mega Evolution on that first turn. So he switches out back into the Exploud and takes a good 55% or so. So very fortunate for us that he kind of had a misstep there. I make a play into my Skarmory, thinking that he's probably going to go for Boom Burst, but no, again, he makes a really nice play, goes for the Focus Blast, and again, I'm just walking right into his trap. So we're going to go into the Crest Jr. because even though we're not specially defensive, we can take a Focus Blast from this. He is going to swap out after missing the Focus Blast. Pretty unfortunate for him. So he brings in the Masquerain, and he is just going to go for the Intimidate ability, and I'm just going to go for the Thunder Wave. So I was kind of hoping he would bring in something else on this. Maybe like the Honchkrow. That would have been really nice to have that thing paralyzed, because that thing is a threat. It's definitely a problem for my team. But anyway, I know that he, whether he goes for Bug Buzz or Air Slash or whatever, he's not going to be able to do anything to Jirachi. But he does just go for the Sticky Webs, which is not great for me, especially for Pokemon like Sneasel. But then again, a lot of my team doesn't have a lot of speed anyway, so I'm not that concerned about it. But yeah, just hinder my Sneasel's ability to do anything. So I go for a Wish here. Lands a Bug Buzz, does a pretty decent amount of damage, maybe like 25% or so. He switches out, and I think, yeah, if this is the play I think it was, yeah, we're just going to go for Iron Head, and it gets off a clean like 70%, so that definitely tells me that this thing is offensive. Fortunately, since he didn't get up the Sticky Webs earlier, my Jirachi does not have a speed drop, and I EV'd this to outspeed Togekiss with a Timid Nature. He ended up being modest. But if I was -1, I probably would have been outsped by a modest Togekiss. So we are able to easily kill that Togekiss, and we are, I think, up 6-4 at the moment. So now he brings out the monster. He brings out the Honchkrow, And, you know, thinking that maybe he's going to go for something like Sucker Punch, I try and swap out into this, my Colberberry physically defensive Masharna, but he goes for the Night Slash instead. Very good play. I think I would have outsped with the Jirachi. But, you know, this is the whole thing. This is the story of this whole game. He makes these awesome offensive plays, and I just am getting knocked around left and right. So I want to give some major props to him just for really playing well throughout this game. So here, I actually made a misclick. I went into Sneasel. I really wanted to go into Sableye because it would have been a really awesome opportunity for me to get off my Mega Evolution. But instead I clicked Sneasel by complete accident. So he switches out, I guess, fearing the Ice Shard, or potential Icicle Crash. But, you know, I'm thinking that he probably can outspeed me under the Sticky Web, and so I don't want to take a big Brave Bird from it. Or rather, maybe I was fearing a Sucker Punch. Not really sure, but he ends up doubling, and I also double out into Sableye. And it kind of works out in my favor, this misplay, because I probably would have Will-O-Wisp on the Honchkrow. He would have brought in this Masquerain and dodged my Will-O-Wisp. As it is, I can Mega Evolve and go for a Calm Mind, and that's going to make that Hydro Pump do very little. He is going to swap out here into John Goodman, but I make a read. Finally, I make a read of my own, and I go for a Will-O-Wisp, so I can start whittling this thing down. I don't have a lot else that can do good damage to this, especially with webs up. And I don't have a lot that can really tank a hit. And I can't hit this thing with any sort of offensive moves anyway, so I am just going to go ahead and swap out into Jirachi. And it's going to take that speed hit, and he is going to go for Focus Blast. So very good play. This does some nice damage, as you guys can see. It does, you know, maybe 40% or so. But I can just basically Wish Stall this thing because it can't 2-hit KO me with Focus Blast. If he went for Fire Blast like he did before, I would have been in a much cruddier situation. Goes for Focus Blast again. Just basically resigned to the fact that this thing is now going to go down. Sucks that he missed, but, you know, we do have our Wish that's going to be coming up in a little bit, and we could have just protected on this turn. I collect Iron Head, actually, just in case he decided to swap or do something like that. Forgetting, like, I thought, like, oh, yeah, I'm going to outspeed this thing anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I forgot that I'm under the effect of Sticky Webs. So, definitely worked out in my favor. Can't deny that. But we did get the kill on that. And so he now goes in. I'm like, oh, he's probably just going to go for Night Slash again. Let me stay in here and try and get off some damage. But I'm kind of dumb and realized that, one, yeah, I'm slower anyway because of Sticky Webs. And two, he has Sucker Punch, so it doesn't really matter. I go for Protect here thinking, you know, oh, well, let's play some mind games with his Sucker Punch. You know, because if he doesn't Sucker Punch, you know, I can hit him up with an Iron Head. But as I said, I'm kind of dumb, and the mind games really didn't matter at all because he was faster than me the whole time. So our Jirachi goes down. It is now 4 Pokemon to 3, if I'm not mistaken. And now he's got a +1 Honchkrow with an Adamant Nature Life Orb. So I'm thinking, crap, what can I really do to deal with this thing? It's probably got at least 2 more hits on it, and I've only got 3 Pokemon left. So I bring up my Enbor, thinking that my only chance of taking this thing on is going to be able to land on a Sucker Punch. And we do, and we take out the Honchkrow. The crit didn't matter. If he had clicked his own Sucker Punch, at the range of HP that I was at, he probably would have killed me. So that really, it was really nice that he ended up not going for that. So now he does bring out his Metagross. I'm gonna let my Emboar go down here. I am gonna try and get off a Sucker Punch just to get some damage off on this thing, but we are paralyzed, unfortunately. Would have been pretty nice if we could have gotten that little bit of damage. He just goes for Thunder Punch. So now in the back, I've got a very familiar combination. I've got Sableye, Sneasel, and Skarmory, which is the exact same 3 that I had at this point last week. So I bring out the Sableye because I know that we can live a Meteor Mash. It's going to do maybe 45 to 50% on us. And he makes a nice read and goes out into the Masquerain trying to dodge that Will-O-Wisp. Gets an Intimidate off. Obviously that doesn't really matter because we do not have any physically attacking moves. Now, here I went for Recover, expecting the Masquerain to outspeed, but that actually wasn't the case. I was thinking I would take a Bug Buzz and then recover back up to basically full health. But he instead gets off a nice Bug Buzz, and now he goes into Metagross. So before he brought the Masquerain in, I was in a position where I could live one Meteor Mash from a healthy Metagross, and then another one from a burned Mega Metagross, and now I can't. So this kind of sucks. So he does go for a big Meteor Mash here, brings me down into the red, and he gets the attack boost. I'd land the Will-O-Wisp, but he was going to be able to kill me even without the boost, even after the burn. But now that he got the attack boost, I can't come in with Skarmory and heal up on this thing. Fortune really smiles upon me, though, on the very next turn as he misses Meteor Mash, and I'm able to click Recover. I let the timer go down all the way to like 5 seconds just because I was like, wow, is there any way I could win this? I think I'm totally screwed. But, you know, he does, I do get to recover up. I go for the Recover again. He is just, you know, going down slowly in HP because he's burned. And, you know, this is a battle that we're going to win. You know, this Metagross versus Sableye showdown here. He just continues going for Meteor Mash, maybe hoping that he can get another attack raise or he can get a crit, which is going to break through the burn damage reduction as well. Now we're back up to full HP. And I'm trying to remember if I went for Shadow Ball here, if I went for Calm Mind. Because we don't have any, we have one boost up at this point. We do just go for Shadow Ball. So yeah, I figured, oh, you know, maybe we can do some good damage with the +1 Shadow Ball. And we do end up taking out the Metagross. It actually ended up being a minus special defense nature, which is maybe why that did a lot of damage at only just +1. So now he brings out this Masquerain, and I've got no reason not to go for a couple of Calm Minds just to try and, you know, assure that I can do a KO this thing. This thing turned out to be fully specially defensive, funnily enough. So I'm glad that we ended up going up a couple of times. Do just go for Recover. I feel bad for going for Recover kind of over and over in his face, but, you know, and if the crit comes up, I don't want to come into a situation where I'm going to be at a low amount of HP or be potentially a risk of dying. So I am going to fire off the Shadow Ball. Does about 60% or so. So I know that I'm going to be able to kill it with the next one, and I do know that we outspeed. He does get the crit on the Bug Buzz, which really made me crap my pants. So, you know, that kind of validated to me all of the recover stalling that I had been doing. We are able to take that thing out, and that is going to be a good game. So, like I said, it was a very crazy game, very exciting game. Really came down to the finish there, and those bits of hacks at the end really made an impact on the match. Sure, you could say there are some hypothetical scenarios where I would have won, but I think, you know, 4 times out of 5, Kyle's going to be able to pull that one out. So, that being said, we are in a very fortunate position now where we are 3-1 in the PMC D-League, and depending upon the results of other matches from this weekend, we might actually be the best record in the conference, which is really awesome. You know, we had some fortunate circumstances to get to this point. In both of the previous 2 weeks, we did pull out wins, but they could have very easily have been losses. I feel like that's just the whole nature of this league and playing on 3DS. You know, maybe these sorts of plays happen on Showdown, but you just don't feel them as much as you do when you're on 3DS. Everything on 3DS seems so much more significant. Like, every single play feels like it matters. Like, every single play feels like it decides the match. And it makes me really anxious, to be honest. But at the same time, that's what really makes it a lot of fun. So, I still think I'm more comfortable with Showdown at this time. But I do like 3DS and the excitement that it has and everything like that. You know, you've got the music. You know, it's just nice. I'm really happy to be a part of the PMC D-League. And while I am very lucky to be so, I am very glad that we are at a 3-1 record. So we have 3 games left. We've got a game against Orso, a game against Roshan, and then a final game against Adam, which could possibly decide who gets the #1 seed in the conference. So the season is far from over. While there's a good chance we make it into the playoffs, there's also a good chance that we stumble down the road and becomes a tough road to the playoffs. So we'll see. We're gonna play our best. We're gonna see if we can avoid winning with some luck. You can't always rely on that. And with that said, I want to thank you guys for watching. Please be sure to check back for more Pokemon content. And I'll add too, make sure you check out Kyle's channel and you check out the other D-League matches from this weekend so you can see where we end up ranking amongst all of the top leaders in our conference. And until the next time, I will see you all later.